Hey guys, B.O.L.T here, or this is my very first video as it, B.O.L.T Entertainment, the quickest entertainment you can find, not anywhere, but it's the quickest entertainment I can provide for you. This is the first video I've officially made after creating the icons and making the new introduction videos. I'm working on the banners. But anyways, we can't stand for too long. I want to go to bed. It has taken me forever to knock out this thing. I've been up for 3 hours making this. Appreciate this video. I'm trying to cut this back a lot better than yesterday. So I made just the sections and we just jump right into it. Quick note is this is my oldest notebook. I had this back in 9th grade, and I tore all the pages out that had a lot of stuff on it. This thing is like nothing anymore. Anyways, welcome to the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 fandom history. Of course, previous video, understand this is basically the fandom's outlook of how the game progressed. This isn't just to solve a timeline or solve the mysteries. This is literally how the fandom collected the information as it came. Anyways, before we start, there's a few things that I have to go and redo. There was some cut content from the first Five Nights at Freddy's 1. I mentioned the live system, but I forgot about the cams did have a view icon, so it showed which viewing position it did. You can see the reflection in the room on the monitors on the desk. There was a 5th power meter that you can actually see in game, but it is very hard to get because you have to literally quickly shut both doors, turn on both lights, and then put up the camera fast before the lights turn off. Also, it's in the trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's 1, but all animatronics staring at the camera all at one, Chica, Bonnie, and Freddy staring at the camera on stage. It is supposedly, it is allowed in the game, but it is so hard and so rare that it is almost impossible. You can trigger it if you were to, game hack it, but it is like near impossible to get it. Let's see here, and then we go on to, it was Scott's previous game. So Scott's previous games. Yesterday, I mentioned that I would probably go back to them. I don't know if I already said this on B.O.L.T Fam, or we're going to call this SP Studios. SP Studios now has my mobile games, my classic games like the Game Boy games, and has all my summary videos. So all that stuff, like it's still on B.O.L.T Shooter, or I keep forgetting that it changed, B.O.L.T Entertainment. This is stuff you can find on this channel, but the playlist and any future content of that kind will be over there. So Scott's previous games, I will be playing on SP Studios. It will not be on this channel. Unless I can find if I can get a hold of Desolate Hope, you'll find it on here. Let's see here. Hoaxes. Basically, the Sparky the dog is not I call it a creation, but it is technically a hoax. I think the hoaxes were pretty good from Five Nights at Freddy's 1 to 3, but they started really dying off in 3, and then 4 had a few of them, but you couldn't really see them as much. Game Theory did have a FNAF theory right after this, which was that he was bringing a real life tragedy of five people that actually ended up being 4 people from someone, but it was a Chuck E. Cheese store, and he was thinking it was a relation. There was no relation. It might have had a hint of inspiration, but no. Next, I figured out where 85 came from. That came from Fazbear Frights Into the Pits. I did not know that. But yeah, apparently that's where 85 came from. We just take from the books anymore, basically. Even though Scott has said it is not canon, people take it as canon because without it, we can't go anywhere with the lore. A lost game. So basically, this origin of this game from last video was a lost game developer with depression, with negative comments from the previous games, had made Five Nights at Freddy's with that as an inspiration. Here comes your next chapter. Story so far. So the story was in 1973 by a phone guy from the first game, saying 20 years that Freddy Fazbear's was created. The game takes place in November 8th to 14th of 1993. The payment math of the time. Your Mike Schmidt, who came across a help wanted ad for the night guard position to protect the company Fazbear Entertainment's property, mostly animatronics, for the night from 12 to 6. Through phone calls, pre-recorded phone calls from the previous night guard, who is possibly retiring since he says this is my last week. He is nicknamed by the fandom as Phone Guy, who's also played by Scott. I don't know if I actually mentioned that in the first video. He is played by the creator, Scott Cawthon. And then let's see here. On how your tools for the job and how the animatronics act. He gives you company greetings and policy that does show Fazbear Entertainment to be a non-liable and sketchy company who possibly hides murders. He goes over infamous incident from 1987 known as the Bite of 87, where an animatronic bit someone's frontal lobe, making the animatronics lose the ability to walk around during the day, which gives the mechanics an excuse to say that the servos are locking up. And then makes them walk around at night. And apparently, the night guard does say, that the phone guy does say that apparently the frontal lobe was torn out, but he was still alive. Well, they were still alive. We don't know for sure, but they still survived at some capacity after the bite. We don't know if they survived for long, but technically they survived for some period of time. And the theory for the time for the Bite of 87 was that Foxy could have been the one for the out of order, or the fact that he had teeth and was torn apart, or that Freddy was due to a handprint in the rule on a rules poster that do not touch Freddy. But anyways, back to the actual story. While you stay, you are treated to paranormal elements such as hallucinations, the animatronics knowing where the cameras are at to watch them. That's not what an animatronic can do. Just, I know you're there. And things moving around and changing without any rhyme or reason. The last few days of your week, you are treated to the possible death of Phone Guy on night 4, who thinks past employees may be stuffed in the heads of the empty heads back in the back room, backstage. Let's see here. Learning from newspaper clips of missing 5 children from a man dressed as a mascot, who was caught, by the way. He lured them back into the backstage to possibly hide them in the animatronic suits, which smell and have the blood and mucus running through their eyeball and nose. A chance to run to the spiritual 5th animatronic, previously known as Yellow Bear, until Scott liked the fan name known as Golden Freddy, who threw the "It's me" hallucination, him hiding, and the fact there's an Easter egg on night 7, custom night, where you put 1987, he pops up as a screen, but it's just a joke. That isn't evidence. Anyways, then there is your paycheck on night 5. Reveal your name, reveal that, it's November, and I think it's the 12th, and then you, with a little bit of pay and a little bit of knowledge, you do get to figure out that it's 1993, but then you get overtime on night 6, and then you are fired on night 7 due to odor and tampering with animatronics. Ooh, I did also forget to mention that through the newspaper clippings, you do get to see that the restaurant is closing by year's end. All right. Oh boy, we still got 4 more pages. All right. So the fandom after the first game, who created their own animatronics, which are the Hoaxes. Sparky the dog was the biggest one. You guys can see that he is the he's the clip I used. He's the thumbnail I used. The fans were left with a few questions. Did Phone Guy survive? Who is the killer? What mascot did he use? Who did the Bite of 87? And now we go on to the actual Five Nights at Freddy's 2 teasers. So the first teaser we get, it does show that it's going to be the second game, that it's going to be released in 2015. Doesn't happen because Scott likes to release things fast. And then we get what the actual title of this teaser is, the grand reopening, and we get to get guaranteed to a withered Freddy Fazbear showing his age. The second one is there is something borrowed, something new, which is showing a withered faceless Bonnie next to a shinier and more friendly model of him with rosy cheeks and a more feminine figure. Next, there are 2, which is showing Foxy on the left of the curtain with a more feminine Foxy on the right. So we didn't have any withered Foxy on the left. We just had regular Foxy from Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and then we had the what we called at the time after the game Toy Foxy, but they were actually meant to be like kind of like the actual first game, where both of them were like a Pirate's Cove scenario. And then let's see here. And then, of course, the new Foxy's more feminine, kind of closer to the new Bonnie design. And then we have no place to hide except exactly one place to hide. No place to run and exactly one place to hide. Showing the player hiding in an animatronic head or mask with the scene of The Office and even more than usual withered Foxy with a dark hallway that he's hiding in. I think you had to brighten this image to see withered Foxy, that we actually got to see the design of withered Foxy at this time. And finally, hiding in the dark, we had to brighten this image to see it, was the puppet-like animatronic and a camera named Prize Corner, showing camera map. He also was showing the drawing of himself giving a gift to a kid, and we did get to see a glimpse of the newer Foxy on a poster, because all we got to see was half of it. Then we got the trailer on November 11th, 2014, so I think it was maybe 2 months after the first game. Scott would release the trailer for the second game. During the first scene, you get to hear the London Bridge let's see here, on top of seeing drawings, the puppet giving a kid a gift, and then most of these drawings had My Day at the New Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. We had Chica with the kid. We had Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica with heads, with soulless eyes. We see Puppet popping out of his box. In the ending scene, we see that withered and faceless Bonnie. activating, of course. We hear Phone Guy still alive for some reason, introducing another employee on top of a view of service door. Next, we have Forgotten, Dismantled, and Deactivated, showing Withered Chica, Withered Freddy, and Withered Foxy. Then showing a newer Bonnie having his eyes open up. The first camera we see is the game area, showing a birthday decoration, a carousel with the Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica and Foxy vibe on it, on top of a new humanoid animatronic with balloons. Then we also had the second camera, which is the main hall, showing posters of the new animatronics, parts and service door we just saw with the Phone Guy reveal, and the bathrooms, of course. We go to the office, which we see in the teaser for you have nowhere to run, only exactly one place to hide. We get to the return of the celebration poster from the first game, where you honk the nose of Freddy. This one is also honkable. A little in-game tip is that you can look this up for yourself. There are keys in the first game you can hit to skip the night. And it works exactly the same for the second game, but this time you have to hold the nose of Toy Freddy on the celebration poster. You also see a left vent and a light that you get to hit, and the main hall has a flashlight to look down at. Another camera, Kids Cove, with a cam light, so you can turn the lights on now on the camera to see the newer Foxy torn apart, mangled. Next camera, you see Party Room 1 with the left vent to your office. So from the previous image of the office, you got to see the left vent. Now you know that they're coming from Party Room 1. And then from looking at the map, you could see that there's another party room, possibly with the right vent. Because we didn't see the right vent at that point. Sorry guys, trying to find it. We have Party Room 3, which has balloons. That was all you got from that. There's parts and service with Withered Bonnie and Freddy. We have the redesign showing... oh wait, hold on. We see redesigned, flashing like the dismantled and deactivated. We get to see the newer Bonnie and Freddy on show stage. We get it that goes to reactivated, showing a withered Chica in the vent we just saw, with a withered Freddy within the same party room 3. Let's see. During the withered Freddy shot, you do get to see the flashing icon of the what we now know as the prize corner flashing of the music box. Then you show withered Bonnie in the office with the mask mechanic, and finally we have 0 doors, so nothing to close, with withered Foxy jump scaring you, literally jump scaring you, as well as the flashing icon on the camera button. Then we actually get to how the fandom reacted to the trailer. So this is a section we didn't get to see because not many people knew about Five Nights at Freddy's during the first trailer. They just reacted to the first game. So set in the future, Five Nights at Freddy's 1 is what everyone thought to because of the older animatronics. These are who we seen in the first game. Now they're older and withered. It has to be in the future, right? The fandom also made up that London Bridge. So this is a hoax. They thought that London Bridge backwards said Mike Killall, so that the original protagonist would come back and would be the killer of the kids, or he would be the one destroying the animatronics. Then of course we also had the Foxy scream. So when he did his little jump scare, everyone thought slowing it down would have him say freedom. thinking that the soul of the child was in Foxy saying freedom. And then, oh wait, Phone Guy's alive. So apparently, and he's apparently introducing the new player. Wait, no. Oh, hold on. I jumped. Oh wait, he's alive. Phone Guy is alive. So is this a prequel, or did he survive getting caught? So Phone Guy was the biggest thing that stopped that this was going to be a sequel. Everyone thought that this could be a prequel by just this reasoning, which they were right. Going on to the phone calls / the pay stubs, because we're going to introduce the pay stubs as well to make this go a little faster. 1 second, actually, I'll be Zoelda. And then time resumes. Sorry, I had to get some Wawa. Ooh, talking forever makes your voice go out. So, now back on to night 1, the phone calls. Phone Guy is alive apparently, introducing the player to a new and improved pizzeria. He brings up the old location, saying that it was left to rot and has to be forgotten. Let it just fall back into forget territory. Apparently Fazbear Entertainment cares about safety now. Then let's see here. He also brings up that they spent a small fortune on the new animatronics with facial recognition and a criminal database. They have advanced mobility, letting them walk around during the day again. Okay. But then there's the question is why the previous game, during Five Nights at Freddy's 1, their reasoning for them moving around during the night was the fact that the servos were locking up because they used to move around the day. Now they can't. They have to move around, so they have to move around during the night due to servos locking up. So what does that do? Let's see here. So I think we get to that in a second. But it's like we are the second guard at this location, with the previous one becoming the day shift after complaining about conditions with the animatronics moving around. And this time, instead of servos locking up, here we go, it's that they weren't given a proper night mood. Okay, they should be programmed, period, for the night. They should just be switched. Anyways, because that's why you hired a night guard. They should be able to get turned off at night. So they're attracted to people, which is you, but hey, they rigged a music box to draw the attention, which works for one of them. Well, this is an empty Freddy head anyways. Here you go, champ. That'll do the trick to glitch the system that apparently thinks that you're an endoskeleton without his costume off. So here's a head of one piece of fabric that will somehow glitch the system. Another perk is that you have cameras, lights, and the building can't run out of power. But there's no doors due to modern design. Here comes night 2. Wait, what does he say, Golden? No. Night 2, the wizards are from a previous location and were supposed to be repaired and were given retrofitted newer technology until they were deemed ugly and smelled. So now they are used for parts, but they may reactivate, including Foxy, who even with newer tech can be glitched out by he can't be glitched out by the head. So even with newer technology, he doesn't work correctly. So you can replace everything in that guy, and he just still doesn't want to work properly. He's like, no, I want to be different. So let's see here. So you have to basically use another glitch, which is flashing the light at him, which he says that this covers almost all the animatronics. So Phone Guy does bring back up that he wants you to use the music box because the puppet can go anywhere, can think, and the Freddy head doesn't work on him. So now he's some actually sentient being who can go around, think, and he isn't stupid. Or he doesn't have a glitch. Then there's Night 3, which Foxy is Phone Guy's favorite. He does bring up. And it is redesigned for being too scary, which was left to toddlers. So the newer Foxy that was more feminine is now left to toddlers, but the toddlers don't know how to keep their hands to themselves, so they pull and put back together, which the employees have to repair constantly every night until they don't want to care anymore and tired of it. They just leave it as a new attraction, and it becomes the Mangle. There are a few new rumors about town, about Freddy's, and basically they're just rumors. Don't worry about them. And he throws in real quick that the day shift is saying nothing about it. Well, if there's rumors, what's happening that's going to create the rumors? What is the day shift not reporting? Night 4, an investigation starts with Freddy Fazbear Entertainment refusing wrongdoing. So now, the day shift is reporting something that has people making rumors, and now there's an investigation, and you have kids in the building, and you're supposed to let parents do what they're doing and have these animatronics in a day shift watch over the kids. What happened to the kids? That's making rumors. So now the animatronics' facial recognition may have been tampered with, having them aggressive towards adults, but not kids. So now the only chance for it to be tampered with is either there's a mechanic, the day shift, or the night shift. And since we're the night shift, unless we see a scene, it's going to be one of the two. Night 5, the building is on lockdown. So the rumors were right. And what is the day shift doing when something's happening? Including a previous... he was the reason for the lockdown, is basically what Phone Guy says here. If it's sorted out, the player might be moved to the day shift with a position becoming available. So yeah, the day shift guy got fired and is the reason for the lockdown. But we don't know what the reason for all this is. Let's see here. Let's see. They are one, looking for a new night guard. 2, contacting the original restaurant owner, which the original restaurant is named Fredbear's Family Diner. So there's another location prior to this one, and there's which was closed for several years. So now several is normally meant for 3 or more. So you can't really do that because the first game was known as Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which means that's got to be more than 3 years. Oh, 1 second, guys. Nose. Sickness ASMR. Ooh. Then let's see here. Sorry. Oh, then we get our first paycheck, which we are Jeremy Fitzgerald. Funky name, but I like it. We have less money all of a sudden. It's November 12th again, so it's at least been a year since the game, and it's 87. Oh boy, something's gonna happen soon. So this does confirm through this pay stub that this is the prequel to the first game. And then let's see. Then there's night 6, which what are you doing? The place is closed. Didn't you get the memo? Someone used a spare yellow Hosu in the back. The animatronics aren't acting right. One more event is scheduled for tomorrow, or birthday. Stay close to the animatronics so no one gets hurt. And when the place reopens, that phone guy there, he's gonna take over the night shift himself. So basically, from what it's hearing like, is the day shift guy used that yellow spare suit to do something that is so horrible that the phone guy is actually breaking up a lot. Because he's actually trying to collect his thoughts, basically, from what it's sounding like. Then let's see here. Oh, I do have to mention, I forgot to write this down, but we do have the small in between night mini games where you're shown Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and you're just Freddy going back and forth between Chica and Bonnie. They start moaning and groaning. Then they start looking at you. Then Golden Freddy gets in your face. And then you see the puppet, which means the puppet was in Five Nights at Freddy's 1. And it follows you. And then that's really it. It's just basically showing that Golden Freddy is existent to the other animatronics. And that the puppet was there at Five Nights at Freddy's 1, which means he existed past Five Nights at Freddy's 2's timeline. Which means he's important. We do get overtime on, after night 6, and this is November 13th, so yes, it's the next day. And then we get a newspaper with this that is reported that the closing of Freddy's after only a few weeks, which is technically 2, from what we understand. The new animatronics will be scrapped due to malfunctions, which means during that party that Germany went to, there was a bite of 87. And that the toy animatronics, which we do know thanks to Night 7, that they got scrapped due to malfunctioning, which means it's only set to the toy animatronics that they're the ones who did the bite of 87, because the originals were kept for the new location, which is now known for Five Nights at Freddy's 1. So that means you can't keep the originals that are known to bite kids during a party or Jeremy, because, we'll get to that. With a newspaper, okay. Basically they're going to be kept until the company is reorganized. The CEO at the time does say that they'll come back with a smaller budget, which means, during Five Nights at Freddy's 1, your power can go out and you have doors not for modern design. Then we have Night 7, which we learned that the old animatronics are named the Wizards. We know that the new animatronics are known as the Toys. We do know that the balloon animatronic is now known as BB, which is short for Balloon Boy. Then after Night 6, during Night 6, you get introduced to Golden Freddy, which means he's in the menu now. You can move his AI, which means he's real. He's not just a hallucination or spirit. There are challenges that you can switch to certain ones, and you get a toy or a plushie from this. Keyword quickly, Mangle gets their gender confused during this night because of the ladies' night challenge. Scott did that to make it harder because it would be a challenge without Mangle. And why am I saying this? Because during the phone call that goes over Mangle being becoming an attraction, constantly says he. It was meant to be a boy. You know, Scott probably now wants it set to be a part of the transgender community just to kind of give him it. I'll give you guys that because, you know, basically how it looks like is Scott has changed a lot of things because I feel like this game was designed to be an actual sequel and now it's a prequel. It was built to be a sequel from a lot of the lines we see now. But Mangle, I believe, had turned from male to female, and I believe just to kind of give people that kind of identity with Mangle, so they have someone, a part of Five Nights at Freddy's, a horror game that's got an animatronic. You got a transgender, or I think it's non-binary is the name for it. I'm not calling anyone out. I'm just saying there you go. They got another character. Then let's see here. I'm trying to think what the next thing is. Oh, okay. So we do get introduced through a pink slip that this is Fritz Smith, the third employee, which means he cannot be the day shift person because day shift was number 1, Jeremy was number 2. This means this person came after Jeremy, which means they wanted a night guard until they completely shut down and scrapped everything and, you know, took all their stuff. And he got fired on day 1 due to tampering with animatronics and odor. Mike, is that you? This is a theory going on that Fritz Smith is also Mike, which means Mike has been around and he's at least like 30 or something by the time Five Nights at Freddy's 1 comes up. Which means he doesn't have to be 30, but he's got to be 18 or something right here. Then let's see here. We're now on to the Easter eggs. With throwaway characters such as JJ, who's a different coloration of BB, who's underneath your desk. You have Endo02, which we didn't get until Five Nights at Freddy's World. I will only slightly go over that during Sister Locations cover, but World doesn't have that much information due to canon. It's only like promotion material, basically. He spawns after the gift box, out of the gift box after the music box runs out, which means he's got to be from like Golden Freddy or something. But Golden Freddy it's a weird thing, but it's just he had to be from the Withered Animatronics line. We do get to see the puppet after the box runs out in the main hallway once in a great while. Shadow Freddy, which the fandom has made that name. He's in parts and service. If you do see him for too long, he crashes your game. We do have Shadow Bonnie, fandom name, or RXQ for the final name. He also he spawns in your office and does the same thing with crashing your game as Shadow Freddy does. We do also get the Paper Plate Boy, which is in Party Room 2, I believe. He gets taken out of there randomly by some animatronic, which people have theorized who moves it into your room. It's one of the Chicas, is all we basically know. Let's see here. Then there's also the startup and death screens, which are Withered Freddy, Withered Foxy, and Toy Bonnie, who are eyeless, which are actually a callback to the Five Nights at Freddy's 1. Another Easter egg I missed was there was an eyeless Bonnie that can come out from, I believe, a death. Now we're moving on to the death mini games. we will start with Foxy Go Go Go. This is Foxy approaching kids twice, and then during the third time, he has a purple guy by his curtain before seeing 5 dead kids. Which, because we're seeing this in 87, and this is Foxy when he's still active, because we still don't see him active during Five Nights at Freddy's 1. This is to believe that this is previous to Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and this is the missing kids incident. And then we also have Take Cake to the Children. This is also previous to 87 because this has the puppet for it. And during this, a lot of people try to just toss the save them phrase, the S-A-V-E. It says H-I-M, so save him. This is another change point that Scott has made. This is now known as Charlie Charlotte, and it used to be known as a boy. So now it's been retconned by Scott himself that I believe half these games have been retconned thanks to Help Wanted, but anyways, that's how it originally was. And we see that purple guy strikes again after pulling up with his purple car. And by Matt Pat's Heath, the Urple car and the Urple man have came to make your face Urple. And then we go to give gifts, give life. This is also where they say help them. H-E-L-P-T-H-E-M. And this is the puppet giving life to the older animatronics. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and then we do get to see for one frame after you give Foxy's head, or whatever head you give at last, that there is a 5th child in the center of the room that does turn into Golden Freddy. So during the Foxy Go Go Go, it is the 5 kids dying, which means Foxy's spirit died there. Then we had the Take Cake to the Children, which the puppet came from, which means the puppet's spirit is the one that got killed outside. And then we also have the Give Gifts, Give Life, which we get to see that 5th sprite on the last second, which means Golden Freddy was one of the 5 kids. So now we know that he's a part of those murders, which means there's Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy for the first 5, and then now we have another spirit, which is prior to the 5 kids that took on the puppet. I know we're getting very close, and we haven't even talked over. I'm not talking anymore. I'm going to finish this and go to bed. S-A-V-E-T-H-E-M. So actually, we have save him, help them, and then we have save them, which is Withered Freddy wanders the new pizzeria after the death of another 5 kids, while following the puppet, until they go to the gift box. He comes across an inactive Withered Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy in the parts and service room. He comes upon the toy Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica on stage. He comes across a Mangle who's running back and forth, whose file name is He Was Here. So that means whoever he is, the Mangle is like, this person just killed these kids. He was here. Then we also have a chance to see the Golden Freddy sprite who lights up their eyes and then disappears when you approach them. And then we have another chance at seeing the purple guy with a badge who says when he catches you, you can't. So you can't save them. And then the purple guy is also holding something here. We do have cut content real quick which is a crying skull icon we get to see as labeled as Mike. This is perceived that before Final Fantasy Freddy's 2 was turned into a prequel, that we were going to actually figure out that Mike died during the first one. Toy Chica had a moving animation like Toy Bonnie in The Office. We did get to see a model of the puppet with his puppet strings and his marionette controller. We did get to see the jump scare close up with no pupils. During the first and second game, there was a phone number that fans kept calling to annoy businesses, and Scott took it down and replaced it with a false one to make it to where you couldn't contact anyone with it. Let's see here. There was a toxic meter for the Freddy head to avoid you being down there, but Foxy and the puppet made that a thing to not worry about. There was set to max, which was for night 7. I believe this was removed because either this just meant it was a Golden Freddy mode, or this could have been a good thing for trying to set one character straight to max. And then let's see here. Then we also have a title that says It's Him. This is an out of frame that probably goes to the He Was Here. So It's Him might refer to Purple Guy, and he Was Here was to Purple Guy. We do have a power outage because apparently Freddy's Toreador March file version 2 was in the files. It's just it was taken out because they didn't want the power situation again. And Phone Guide during the phone calls did call it prize corner, which will counter. He called it prize counter. Now in the actual map it's called corner, which means it was probably previously known as counter. We do have the story now. Go back and watch the chapter that says story so far to get the context with this. So including that, it gives us this game gives us an in between of the 1973, and then we also have the mid-November 1993 from the first game. The gameplay, the phone calls, and the pay stubs put us at mid-November of 1987, which is 6 years to Five Nights at Freddy's 1. With the new pizzeria only to be open a little over a week by the start of the game. With thought out the week's phone calls and save them mini game, the save them mini game. Someone used a spare yellow suit to kill 5 kids, seeming to be the day shift guard, who also tampered with the facial recognition. He sounds to have been fired, possibly banned from Freddy's. Night 6 sets up Jeremy or one of the kids from the party to have been the victim of 87. And the Overtime newspaper reveals that one of the newer animatronics, possibly Toy Chica from her being beakless, or Mangle from her jump scare. And we also know it's the toy animatronics because they were aggressive to adults. That means poor Jeremy was probably the one who got his frontal lobe missing. Since the originals were kept, that's another reason why it was the toys. And if Night 7 is canon, the night guard that replaced Jeremy that night was fired. Using other, and this is possibly Mike coming to and doing something to probably save the kids. Then let's see here. Using the other mini games, there's another location before the new one in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. where there are the 5 missing kids from the articles from the first game, that took place to replace to bring life to the originals, and that the puppet was a previous victim, maybe the first. The fandom questions and theories is that purple guy, the phone guy, is the purple guy. Of course, that Toy Chica and Mangle were the ones to be the suspects for 87. Was the previous location Fredbearers, or was this something even earlier? So people that where the 5 missing kids took place was known as Fredbears. And then we also have Fritz Smith, which people think was Mike, or the purple guy, or even both, that Mike is the purple guy. And why a lot of people believe about the day shift guard being purple guy was because the badge during the Save Them minigame. To round it out, we have the Fandom Creations, also known as Hoaxes. We have the purple guy animatronic who will be our thumbnail. He's basically just a recolored and, face is different from withered Golden Freddy. We also have Golden Toy Freddy, who was a recolor of the poster in the prize corner. Like they had all 4 faces of the new animatronics. They just recolored Toy Freddy and believed it would be a cool thing. That was going around a lot. And then there was also a quick thing where they thought they could see the outline or the shadow of purple guy in the main hallway. Whenever you didn't shine your light, that there was the hover of a humanoid figure. Anyways, that is it for this. I'm so tired, I'm not gonna lie. But we are so close to being done with this notebook, people. That is another 3 pages out of this thing. It is almost gone. But anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. I'm not taking any more of your guys' time. It's already 3 minutes over yesterday's video. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.